Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing great. Happy Wednesday. We got 10 matchups on this NBA slate today, so go ahead and like and subscribe. Check out all my links in the description below to get in on this betting action for today. And we'll hop into it. 10 matchups, starting with the Charlotte Hornets versus the Orlando Magic. Hornets opening up as 6-point favorites with the over-under at 217. You can get Charlotte on the money line at minus 240. Orlando plus 205. Both teams head-to-head last 10 are both 5-5 here. Boston had that very tough loss against Boston. Or Charlotte had that tough loss against Boston. You know, that overtime thriller. That was a tough loss for them. Orlando, not looking good here. I mean, they're pretty much, they're the same Orlando team they've been. Very bad. Dealing with a lot of injuries. Very young team here. I do see Rozier and Washington are out and doubtful for this game, but I just think their roster's a lot more talented, even still, against this depleted Orlando team. Charlotte 15-5 in their last 20 against Orlando, 7-2 on the road against Orlando. Yeah, give me Hornets minus 6, and we'll take them on the money line for sure. Next matchup, we have the Atlanta Hawks versus the New Orleans Pelicans. Hawks opening up as 6-point favorites with the over-under at 220. You can get the Hawks on the money line at minus 240. The Pelicans plus 200. The last 10 head-to-head, Atlanta 8-2 in their last 10 head-to-head matchups. No major injuries to report for this game. Atlanta, nice solid win over Detroit in that last matchup they had. Pelicans had a nice win over Minnesota. They were underdogs. I thought Minnesota was going to beat them pretty good, but they played pretty nice there. Atlanta currently on a 5-game winning streak against New Orleans. 5-0 covering in those 5 games here. I trust the Hawks more in this matchup. Love the playmakers they have on a 6-point spread. Much better chemistry for this Hawks team. Give me the Hawks minus 6, and we'll take them on the money line for sure. Next matchup, we have the Indiana Pacers versus the Toronto Raptors. You can get the Pacers on the money line at Pacers opening up as 1-point favorites with the over-under at 218.5. You can can't see any current money lines. 1-point spread, probably going to be a pick'em scenario or minus 115, minus 105 type deal. The last 10 head-to-head, Toronto 6-4. Head-to-head. Both teams haven't been playing that great. I mean, both teams only have 1 win, same record. Haven't been playing hot. Indy 4-8 or 4-9 in their last 13 against Toronto. 4-8 covering in 12 of those games. Such a tough matchup. I'll take Toronto plus 1 here. Really hard to take in a pick 'em. We'll take the free point with Toronto and hope they can either win this outright or cover that 1 point. And we'll take the Raptors here. All right, next matchup we have the Miami Heat versus the Brooklyn Nets. Nets opening up as 5-point favorites with the over-under at 218.5. You can get the Nets on the money line at minus 195. The Heat plus 170. The last 10 head-to-head, both teams 5-5. No major injuries to report for this matchup here. Miami have struggled against Brooklyn here. 2-5 covering the spread against Brooklyn. 2-5 in their last 7. 1-4 covering on the road against Brooklyn here. Brooklyn 10-2 covering at home here. Nets coming off a quality win over the Wizards, 104-90. Tough matchup here. 5-point spread. We've already seen the Heat, knock off a Wizard or the Bucks that were pretty solid. The Heat have had trouble covering the spread against Brooklyn here. I think I'm going to take Brooklyn here, coming off a win. I like them to build that momentum into this game. Only a 5-point spread. I feel like I do trust KD and Harden more in this matchup here. Give me the Nets minus 5. We'll take them on the money line as well. Next matchup, we have the Washington Wizards versus the Boston Celtics. Celtics opening up as 4.5-point favorites with the over-under at 226.5. You can get the Celtics on the money line at -180. The Wizards plus 160. The last 10 head-to-head, Boston 7-3. Let's see. No major injuries to report for this game. Boston had that nice overtime win over Charlotte. That was definitely good. They're streaking right now, 2-game winning streak, doing pretty solid. Wizards, tough loss to Brooklyn here. I like Boston in this matchup here. Coming off that nice overtime win, they've had good success against the Wizards here. I like them to build this win streak to 3 games in a row here. Build that momentum from last game. Give me the Celtics -4.5, -180. I like a lot of these cheaper money line plays better, but yeah, we'll take the Celtics here. Next matchup, we have the Portland Trail Blazers versus the Memphis Grizzlies. Blazers opening up as 2-point favorites with the over-under at 234.5. You can get the Blazers on the money line at -135. The Grizzlies plus 115. The last 10 head-to-head, both teams 5-5. Memphis 4-2 covering the spread against Portland here. Portland, man, they're probably going to be a team I stay away from all year. They are so spotty. You have no idea what team is going to show up. 134-105 against Phoenix, and then just to get destroyed 116-86 against the Clippers. How does that even happen? How can that happen? That's kind of insane to me. I can't trust this Portland team. They're just not the team to trust here. Memphis, a lot of upside. Memphis playing really good basketball to start the season. Only lost to the Lakers by 3, which they could have easily won that game here. And a team where they beat the Clippers, which Portland didn't. Give me Memphis plus the points here. Next matchup, we have the Sacramento Kings versus the Phoenix Suns. Suns opening up as 8-point favorites with the over-under at 226.5. You can get the Suns on the money line at -360. Kings plus 290. The last 10 head-to-head, both teams 5-5. Cameron Payne is out for this matchup here. Sacramento, played 2 tough teams here. Had a, bad loss against Golden State. Lost to Utah. They've been losing to the bad teams here. That's what it seems like so far. Sacramento 9-1 covering on the road, though. They've been a good covering team on the road, but they're just 2-5 on the road against Phoenix here. Phoenix, man, they've been struggling. That loss to Portland, they got smashed. Beat pretty decent to Denver. The 1-2. Haven't been playing that great. Kings, they've kept it close and they've hung around against these tough matchups. Give me Kings plus the points. I don't love it, but Suns have been playing poor. How can you really trust the Suns? I like the Suns more of a money line play. Add them to your parlays, of course. But 8 points, man, that's a lot to cover. We've seen so many of these favorites not covering spreads every single day. Give me Kings plus the points, but we'll take Suns on the money line. Next matchup, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers versus the Los Angeles Clippers. Clippers opening up as 8-point favorites with the over-under at 217. You can get the Clippers on the money line at -340. The Cavs plus 290. The last 10 head-to-head, Clippers 9-1. Cleveland, coming off that, they were 9-point underdogs against Denver, won outright. 8-point underdogs against Atlanta, won outright. Clippers haven't had the best, coming off that nice Portland win, but Portland's not really that good of a team right now, so that's not really even a quality win, honestly. Cleveland on a 2-game winning streak. When's the last time you ever heard that? And they were against 2 really good teams here, up against a Clippers team that's really not that good, honestly. Just Paul George and a bunch of role players. Giving Cleveland plus 8 points. These last 2 games they've covered and won outright. Give me Cleveland plus the points here. All right, next matchup, we have the Minnesota Timberwolves versus the Milwaukee Bucks. Bucks opening up as 7.5 point favorites with the over-under at 228.5. Last 10 head-to-head, Milwaukee 8-2. Milwaukee coming off that win against the Pacers, 119-109. And then Minnesota coming off that bad loss to the Pelicans, 109-107. Minnesota currently on a 7-game losing streak against Milwaukee here. 0-6 against Milwaukee as well. So not very good against the Bucks here. Bucks 7-0 at home against Minnesota. Currently 7-1 in their last 8, and then 7-1 covering in their last 8. I do see Brook Lopez and Jrue Holiday are both going to be out. Yeah, we saw that kind of changes everything. Honestly, we saw the game Milwaukee did lose against Miami. They were missing both Lopez and Holiday, and they got beat pretty bad here. Already without DiVincenzo, so they're already pretty thin in the backcourt. Yeah, I like Timberwolves plus the points here. I think that's the better play. We saw without two of their starters on offense, they are more than capable of winning this matchup. But we already saw when two of their starters weren't playing, the offense just wasn't there. The rim protection wasn't there with Lopez out. Give me Minnesota plus 7.5. Coming off that bad loss to the Pelicans, I like them to bounce back here, at least to cover the spread. I'm going to take Minnesota plus the points. And then the last matchup, we had the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. Lakers opening up as 9.5 point favorites with the over-under at 220.5. The last 10 head-to-head, Lakers 7-3. The Lakers coming off that 125-121 win over the Spurs. Very good quality win for the Lakers with no LeBron James. LeBron is questionable Wednesday, so be sure to check his status up until game time. Lakers 6-1 in their last 7 against OKC. OKC, they've been struggling here, just 1-13 at home, and then they're 1-13 overall here. Yeah, give me the Lakers. Even if LeBron doesn't play here, I just think this is a game where Russell Westbrook and AD got to take over, kind of like they did last night. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. If LeBron plays, that helps a lot here. But give me the Lakers minus 9.5. I like the Lakers more of a money line play, honestly. 9.5 does seem like a lot. They were only able to beat the Spurs team by 4 points. So we'll take them 9.5 here, but if that doesn't hit, we're 100% adding them to the money line parlays, which they should easily be able to beat this struggling OKC squad. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Wednesday, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Have a good one.